The Endura wall system, a revolutionary wall construction system, which has been extensively tested and designed to outperform all other wall systems at a competitive price, with nearly 30 years of quality constructed homes and commercial buildings, outperforming traditional building systems.
The building blocks, they're rot-proof, moisture-proof, bug and rodent-proof, as the cost is the same or cheaper than conventional building materials.
There's a new wave in home construction.
Have builders looking for alternatives and finding some creative alternatives to wood.
Many of us remember playing with Lego toys as children. Well, now some builders have taken that concept one step further to design a basic masonry building block.
I love my home. I think it's energy efficient. It's quiet. I don't hear neighbors or car traffic.
Fireproof, rot-proof, waterproof, bug-proof, goes up quickly with semi-skilled labor, cuts down air conditioning costs in the summer, and dramatically reduces heating bills in the winter.
The next one just dry stacked right on top of it. To me, it's like a giant kid's Lego set.
The Legos are actually a system of interlocking cinder blocks. Not only will they cut down your labor costs, but your energy bills as well. Now, on ordinary cinder blocks, it only takes about 20 minutes from heat or cold to travel from the outside to the inside of your house. But on these interlocking blocks, it takes between 4.5 and 6 hours for the elements to travel through all of these different passageways and into your living room.
The Endura wall system has 3 primary components. First, extra strong, dry stacked, mortarless masonry blocks with a uniquely layered design. Second, snug-fitting insulation inserts made from non-toxic, fire-safe polystyrene, which adds additional insulation, another vapor barrier, and increased sound deadening. And third, a special surface bonding cement, which provides a watertight, impact-resistant surface that not only disguises the block construction inside and out, but also adds strength to the block. In fact, there's no need for drywall or sheetrock.
This is a dry stacked masonry system. In other words, we use no mortar. With this, when we have this up and dry stack it, we put on a surface bonding material that gives us a complete waterproof exterior and interior to this wall. It's a sound deadening wall. We are rated 61 for a sound deadening wall. It's waterproof, bug-proof, rot-proof, vermin-proof, plus a sound deadening wall, and you have a finished wall with no sheetrock on the inside of the wall.
Rodent-proof, soundproof, and sound deadening. Earthquake resistant.
It's comfortable, it's quiet in here. I don't hear the busyness of the road and the street. The block system keeps this place nice and toasty and comfortable in the winter, and in the summer it's constant, cool, and comfortable. This finish, so you can see this part of the wall, that's a masonry unit. It's, you know, what, below zero outside, or about zero today, and this is still very nice to the touch and warm.
Thinking of building a new home? Even if you're not, this might be something to consider in the future. A home made of blocks.
You may recognize this man, Norm Bangerter, Utah's former governor. His son, Blair, built this home. We asked him to explain just how the new material works.
You lay the blocks, insert the insulation, foam insulation, and then insert rebar, both vertically and horizontal, and pour up, and you go from the very footing up to the top of the walls.
Well, I think that we're in a situation where we're going to be experimenting with all kinds of new methods of home building, from concrete block to outright concrete. I think there are 2 or 3 things driving that: the environment and the cutting of the forest, the high price of lumber.
It is so easy to construct. My husband is who's building it, and I've even come out here and helped. I worked here last weekend, and I laid these 2 walls here. It's about 2 pallets of block, but it's really easy because it's just like a giant Lego set. You do need to wear gloves, though.
Imagine a new building material that, when compared to conventional methods, is environmentally friendlier, structurally stronger, practically maintenance-free, weather-resistant, Soundproof, rot-proof, bug and rodent-proof, fire-resistant, faster and easier to build with, extremely energy efficient, and surprisingly, actually costs the same or less than wood, steel, or brick materials.
We decided to go with this block system because of, one, the insulation factor. Two, we liked the finish on the interior and exterior. Three, we liked it because we figured that we could put the system up.
We saved about 30% over other buildings that we have looked at, out of concrete and out of metal.
Well, I've been a licensed structural engineer for about 45 years, and I still am. I have a PhD degree in civil engineering, structural engineering. And I taught engineering at Brigham Young University for 35 years. Started at BYU testing in 1988. I thought it was a great system. It went through several different tests. What we call a compression test, a diagonal shear test, a lateral force test, where we push on the wall like wind would, and we had an outstanding test, far more than most wind loads ever produce. You know, even at a 90-mile-an-hour wind that we have to design for, that's roughly 20 to 25 pounds per square foot. This would probably went 40 to 50 pounds per square foot. This book here is some of the first tests that were ever done way back in 1986. This one is 1987, July, and January 1987. These are all done at Brigham Young University. I wasn't the one conducting the tests. His name is Arnold Wilson. He is a faculty member at BYU for many years. The one feature that's really unique is the ability to insulate this wall. And where they don't insulate it, they reinforce it with and fill it with grout. And you know, we got to have the grout in there to hold the reinforcing steel in place. And the finished product, it doesn't look any different than any other masonry wall. Especially, in fact, it does look a lot different with this finish on here. Like I said, this has got to be the smoothest wall I've found. This is called the structure coat that helps bond these blocks together. It has fiber mesh in it that gives it the strength. They're little pieces of fiber about 3/4 of an inch in length. They put them in the mix when they mix this together, and it really provides a strength for the blocks themselves. The block is here, shows the ability to reinforce it horizontally, corner blocks to reinforce it vertically. You can insert electrical outlets. And this is a general name for it is hurricane tie, but they have different applications, and they have different capacities to support lateral forces. They resist earthquakes.
I got interested in the block for a number of reasons. First and foremost, it's something that doesn't burn, it doesn't break down, it doesn't rot, it doesn't mold. And it's bug-proof and wind-proof and just about bomb-proof.
One thing you haven't mentioned is the earthquake issue. This block's going to hold up pretty well. This part of the house is probably going to hold up in an earthquake, and the rest of the house will collapse.
The other thing that I quite enjoy about it is we live on a rather busy road, and it's noisy, and we just really don't hear anything in this part of the house with this block system.
The most noticeable thing to me is definitely the quiet and the constant temperature. Really, we don't have to, this part of the house it has a separate furnace and separate air conditioning, and it doesn't run nearly as much as the rest of the house. And that's heating and cooling both the upstairs and the downstairs. It's very, very constant. I love the stability of it.
You know, interestingly enough, last summer when we were hitting several days in a row of above 100-degree temperatures, we have an air conditioner just for the addition, and it almost never kicked on.
We have a ceiling fan. Yeah. The ceiling fan is pretty much all we need.
We receive some notes, interestingly enough, from the power company, who mentioned that this household relative to the others in the neighborhood is about 33% less in terms of power usage.
I was quite impressed on the product as it was used, and so having that research and at the request of the school district, I utilized this product on their 20-bay maintenance and bus facility. It turned out very well. The building is cool in the summer and warm in the winter.
We're not novices at home building. This is our 5th house we've built in our 60 years of marriage. And we've had all types of construction, stick construction, brick, all kinds. But this, I think, is the best of all, with the insulation in the peripheral walls, which will provide us, I'm sure, minimal utility bills, both in the summer and the winter. And it also adds for comfort, and it is noise-proof. We live on a very busy street, and in the evening in our master bedroom we have perfect quiet. We don't have any problem with regard to the traffic on the street.
We are very happy with our home. It's energy efficient and it's very quiet.
A house in South Jordan is being built with a revolutionary new building material. It's a block.
Now, developed in Arizona and tested for 7 years at BYU, the block is now being sold in Utah. News 4 Utah's Brent Hunsaker takes a look.
This block is billed as waterproof, rot-proof, bug-proof, soundproof, fireproof, an excellent insulator, and even earthquake-resistant.
This past winter, we've noticed probably a 25 to 30% reduction in our heating costs, and this is in a home that would be considerably larger than the home we had moved from.
It's amazing, too, the more people that you talk to about it. I have a friend who grew up in Germany, and she said, "You'll love it." That's what I grew up in. They last forever. They're cool in the summer. They're warm in the winter. Another friend said, "Oh, they build houses like that all the time in Florida. It's perfect. They last forever."
It's better insulated. It's more structurally sound. It also is more soundproof, and it eliminates the need for drywall on the inside of the walls.
It went up so quickly, so easily, and everything that we had learned about it is definitely true. Even with all of our windows, we still do not hear the busy street outside. Solid, quiet, and comfortable.
So it's not a bunch of individual blocks now, it's one massive wall. This wall can sway back and forth and will come back to true. That just doesn't happen in any other masonry system.
We saved about 30% over other buildings that we have looked at, out of concrete and out of metal.
And yet it's, you know, what, below zero outside, or about zero today, and this is still very nice to the touch and warm.
I love my home. It's energy efficient, it's quiet, I don't hear neighbors or car traffic. I think that this is a quality built home and I enjoy living here.